Yo, what is good, YouTube? We're back with another video. If you're not in the free Discord, go join it. It is linked down below. But today's video is just going to be the simple breaker block, bearish breaker, and bullish breaker. So obviously with every PD array that I give you, you have to understand the draw on liquidity. So before you even think of entering off any breaker there is, you have to always remember there is a draw that has to be hit, and don't go against the draw. So this video will be about the bullish and bearish breakers. So in simple terms, a bearish breaker is when we have a high, which is right there. We have a low, which is right here. And then we have a higher high, and then we break the low with displacement, or we just break and close below the low, and then the last down close candle at this low would be your bearish breaker. So you would outline the last down close or the thickest down close candle as your breaker. Come up, tap the breaker, and go down. Now for a bullish breaker, we have a low, a high, and then we have a lower low, and then we break the high, come back, tap the breaker, and the last up close candle becomes your bullish breaker. So this is the simple breaker block. Now let's head into the charts and take a look. So right here we're on the 1 minute chart. We're just going to go over CPI because this was a beautiful bullish breaker that delivered price very well. So right here, CPI delivery, clearly straight up. Now obviously with this displacement comes higher time frame imbalance. You already know with this big displacement and this slow move down, this is a higher time frame imbalance. And if I'm not mistaken, this was a SMT? No, it wasn't. I thought, oh wait, that's Ethereum, not ES. Let's go back to CPI. My bad. Should have had this pulled up right here. CPI. This was in fact an SMT. So right here on NQ, we take this low right there. So we have an SMT, which makes a breaker even more valid. Now, can you identify which candle becomes the breaker, right? Is it these two or is it this one? Right? I would use this last up close candle before this price takes out the low, right? We come down and tap this breaker to the tick, right? You can see 414.75. The low of that candle is 414.75. So right there is your breaker block that delivers price higher. So moving on to a 15-minute chart. Taking a look at ES, what do we do right here on this move down? We come in and we tap into this gap. I don't know why that's a gap. That should not be a gap, but this would be a higher time frame imbalance. What do we see right here? A low, a high, and a lower low. What happens? We break this high, closure above it. This becomes your bullish breaker. This becomes your bullish breaker, supports price to deliver higher into this up close candle. We do not quite reach the higher time frame draw, which would have been up here, but we trade into this candle and then we just have market close, so that's probably why we did not reach that. But then we come down, retake this low, and what happens right here? We create a bullish breaker. Why? We have a low, a high, a lower low, swing high, swing low, close above the high. This supports price to continue to grind higher. So right here you can see that we have two bullish breakers, obviously supporting price to go higher. So moving on to NQ, what do we see here in this price action? Can you guys identify the bullish breaker, right? We were in seek and destroy. The draw was London highs. We did not obviously reach that here. So why does this bearish breaker not work, right? We have a high, a low, and a higher high. We close below this low. Well, this bearish breaker doesn't work. That's because the draw is higher. That's why you always have to understand the draw on liquidity. But what do we see right here? We have a low, we have high, then we have a lower low. Which candle becomes the breaker? I would use this candle right here. Why this candle and not these candles? This is the thickest up close candle out of all of these candles. That's why I would use this candle right here to become the bullish breaker, right? We come up, close above the highs, we trade down into this breaker, and then we deliver to the London highs, and then eventually we hit all-time highs. So right here you guys see high, lower low, breaking this low. We displace above these highs, come in, fill this imbalance. This becomes a unicorn, and we deliver price higher. So NQ 1 minute. What do we see here? This is actually a very beautiful, beautiful trade. Right here, we form an SMT, right? SMT, right there. What becomes the bullish breaker? Right here. This up close candle becomes your bullish breaker. Price actually doesn't close above that, but we have a change in the state of delivery. We break above this high with this candle's wick. Change in the state of delivery would be all I would need for this, because we have that SMT. Come in, tap into the imbalance, CISD, breaker, we deliver price higher, right? And then we can use this example. What happens here? We have a high, low, higher high. We break through this low. This up close this down close candle becomes your bearish breaker. What happens whenever we hit this bearish breaker? Well, we made a new high, right? We have a low, we break this high, then we close down here, breaking the lows, right? We don't quite close below this low, but we have a change in the state of delivery. What becomes your bearish breaker? We have candles here, candle here, candle here. I'd just rather use this candle right here. Why this candle? Because this would just be your change in the state of delivery. You can just short this order block, right? We come up, tap into it, and then we deliver price lower. Now, what happens here? We have a low, high, lower low. We close above this high over here. This candle is now your bullish breaker, right? What happens if we have two up close candles? Just like order blocks, it's the series of candles. So both of them become your breaker block. You can see this holds price to deliver higher, right? And then gold, we can go over one last example. What happens here? We create equal highs, we displace lower, we slowly grind up. We have a swing high here, we have a low here. We break this swing high, taking what? Buy stops. So we create a swing high, we have a swing low, so we have a low, higher high, break this low, close below it. This candle is now your bearish breaker. We trade into it, and then we continue to deliver price lower. So this is all breakers are. Very simple and very easy to spot in the charts. One of the reasons it's one of my favorite PD arrays is because it is very likely to frame a reversal, right? If you know the draw, if you know that we are in bullish order flow and we are delivering to new highs, right? We want to be targeting new highs. A breaker block is a great way to frame a reversal. If we just dumped price lower and you want to find an entry, breakers are a great way to identify that. So that's going to be the video. Very simple PD array. Go in your charts, look for the draw and liquidity, and then look for a breaker. So other than that, I'm out of here. Join the free Discord, drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. I'm out. Peace.